Have you ever noticed how some rooms make you automatically sit back, drop your shoulders, and exhale, while others kind of keep you on edge, even if they're beautiful? That reaction isn't random, and it isn't about taste. It's actually about how your body is responding to the materials around you. Your nervous system is constantly scanning your home for signals, noticing how soft the surfaces are, how the sound carries, and how much tension it feels underfoot. So when your space doesn't feel cozy, it's because those materials are giving a signal to your body to stay alert. Welcome to week 6 of your Cozy Home Reset. Today we're talking about texture and how the materials in your home shape how safe, calm, and grounded your home actually feels to live in. In order to talk about coziness, we need to talk about friction. We talk a lot about friction as a negative thing when it comes to things like furniture layout, space planning, or home organization, but it isn't inherently negative. Friction is just something that slows you down, which isn't what you want when you're talking about home organization or furniture layout, but sometimes we do want it. And in the context of the materiality of your home, we want friction because we want you to slow down. Softness, weight, absorption, drag, plushness. These are all forms of positive friction. And they do a very specific job in the space. They slow movement, they soften impact, and they quiet noise to tell your body, your nervous system, that it's okay to settle here. Now, think about the opposite. Slick leather, bare floors, polished concrete, hard surfaces. These are things that have no friction to them. They speed up movement, they reflect sound, they bounce noise, signaling to your body that it has to stay alert because there's a lot going on here and you need to be ready. And this isn't inherently bad either. Some spaces are meant to energize and activate you, and some spaces are meant to calm and nourish you. And so the problem comes when every space in your home is optimized for speed. Most modern homes are designed more like workspaces than they are places of rest. They're visually efficient, easy to clean, easy to move through, and because we buy everything online these days, we are conditioned to prioritize aesthetic over function or physical comfort. Now, you've probably heard or experienced this thought that minimalist homes are cold and uninviting, and homes full of stuff feel much cozier. And the reason you feel that is because stuff is a form of friction. Objects, no matter what they are, break up space, absorb sound, and create forms of physical and visual resistance. An empty shelf is easy to breeze on past and keep moving, but a shelf full of books, for example, invites you to slow down, take it in. Minimalist homes can remove friction without actually meaning to, because fewer layers means less absorption, faster movement, sharper sensory feedback. It's easier to just breeze on through. Nothing's absorbing the energy, so your body stays alert because there's nothing slowing you down. The mistake is assuming that more stuff equals more comfort. No. What actually makes a space cozy isn't quantity, it's intentional, designed friction where your body needs it. So once you understand this, once you start to understand friction points, then materials stop feeling like a decor item and start feeling like a tool. Now, whether you've chosen them intentionally or not, every material in your home plays one of 5 major roles. The first role materials play is grounding. Grounding materials anchor the body and create a sense of stability. They give a room weight and substance and help your body feel supported rather than untethered. Things like large rugs, big pieces of furniture, solid wood pieces, anything low and wide is all going to contribute to the grounding of a space. And remember that grounding doesn't mean heavy and dark, it means rooted and steady. It answers the question, can my body land here? The second role is softening. Softening materials directly impact the nervous system by introducing friction, and they do this usually through absorption of sound or light or any kind of sensory feedback. Upholstered furniture, curtains, cozy throw blankets, pillows, any kind of textured fabric is all going to help soften a space because they signal to your body that it's safe to rest and relax. The third role is guiding because the materials in your home are not only going to shape how you use your space, but also how you move through it. For example, a runner is going to direct your path, or in your entryway, a hard surface is going to ask you to move through quickly, whereas a soft surface is going to invite you to pause. The difference between a deep cushioned chair and a hard stool. One invites rest and pause, the other signals temporary use. These are all things that are going to shape the way your space is used without needing instructions because guiding is about behavior, not rules. The fourth role is containing. Containing materials create boundaries, they create edges, they create like a sense of being held. And they do this by reducing our exposure, by helping our space feel more protected. I actually kind of think that this is why wall paneling started to become a really big trend circa 2020, because it was a time when we were in mass upheaval and everyone felt really unsafe and they needed extra containment. They needed extra protection to feel grounded at home. And wall paneling is an excellent containing material, along with curtains, big bookcases, big plants, darker, more matte surfaces. These are all things that are going to help contain a room. And this is why things like a lot of glass in a home, a lot of windows, or really high ceilings can feel really untethering without balance, because containment makes a room feel safer, makes it feel more intimate. Then the fifth role is expression. And expressive materials are where you show up because they carry meaning and memories and personality and identity. These are the materials that make a home feel personal instead of generic. Expression isn't about trends or styling, it's about making sure that your home feels like you. And most materials don't just play one role, but they play multiple roles, although one might be more dominant. For example, a good rug grounds a room by anchoring furniture and giving your body a place to land. It also softens a space by absorbing sound and cushioning your movement, but it also guides your behavior, either by defining an area or by introducing friction underfoot to slow you down as you walk across a room. A sofa or a large chair softens a space by offering a place to rest and grounds it through its size and weight. At the same time, it guides behavior because a deep, soft, cushioned sofa is going to invite you to settle in, while a firmer, more upright sofa might imply a shorter stay. Your upholstery and texture are a consideration too, shaping whether your room feels formal or casual or playful. But these roles don't just apply to soft, cozy things. A metal side table, for example, is not meant to soften a room. Its role is to add grounding through visual weight. And it guides behavior really clearly. It's there to hold a drink or a book, not necessarily to invite a long, lingering stay. Metal also brings expression through contrast. It sharpens a space and keeps the softer elements from feeling vague or shapeless. And this is really important, okay? A cozy home is not just about making everything soft and plush and gooey. A cozy home is made by letting each material do what it is best suited for. Soft materials calm the body. Grounded materials stabilize the space, and hard, rigid materials add clarity and structure. Comfort comes from creating balance across these five roles, so every object is holding its own. Now, the most important thing to understand about texture is that it only works when it's used where your body actually interacts with the space. Materials that look good but that you never interact with don't do much for your comfort. And so friction matters most in a few key places. Underfoot is one of the fastest ways to change how a room feels because floors pace our movement. Hard, bare surfaces speed you up and reflect noise, while a thick, juicy rug is going to slow you down and soften your gait. And this is where grounding, softening, and guiding often overlap. Another place friction really matters is at rest points, like sofas, chairs, and beds, because the materials in these spaces determine whether your body actually settles or stays braced. A soft, cozy fabric or a plush blanket invites you to land, while slick or hard materials keep you perched. So in your design, it's okay for your rest points to do less for you visually, as long as they're doing more for you physically. And then around the edges of a room is where containing comes into play. Walls, windows, and doors shape whether a room feels open and exposed or safe and contained. And you can use things like curtains, wall hangings, bookcases, or layered materials to help reduce the visual openness of a space. You just want to give yourself enough of an enclosure to feel like you're not on display. And sound is an important factor here because noise is stress. So echoey rooms feel exposed because your body is constantly hearing itself reflected back. Soft materials absorb sound, and that absorption is one of the fastest ways to make a space feel cozier and safer. Now, it's important to have a mixture of hard and soft materials in your home, okay? Please don't take this video away and think that everything needs to be plush and squishy and sound absorbing. It doesn't. And in fact, you'll end up feeling like you live in the world's biggest beanbag chair, which is kind of like a shapeless blob. You need hard materials to add structure and clarity and dimension and shape to a room. The key, again, is a balance between hard and soft materials so that they're shaping the space, not overwhelming it. Here's a really simple way to think about your material placement. Add softness where your body rests, guiding where your body moves, containment where the space feels exposed, expression where your eyes naturally pause, and a little bit of grounding in every room. When friction is intentional, you don't need more stuff. You just need the right materials in the right places. For today's action, I want you to choose a room where you rest frequently. Don't pick a pass-through space. Then sit down. Literally. Take a moment to notice what your body is interacting with. Pay attention to what's under your feet, what your back and arms are naturally coming into contact with, and what you naturally reach for. And notice how sound moves through the room. Does it feel echoey or absorbed? Do you feel held or exposed? And instead of thinking about the whole room, just focus on one area and then choose one small change that adds a bit of friction or a bit of support where your body needs it most. That might mean a thicker rug, a softer blanket, a harder table, a bigger plant. We're not redecorating, we're just fine tuning. And do yourself a favor. After you make this change, don't evaluate it immediately, okay? Give it a couple of days, let your body adjust to it, and see how it feels over time. Then I'd love for you to come back here and let me know, okay? I really want to hear how this is going for you. Thanks for being here today. If you made it to week 6, drop it in the comments below, and I'll see you next week.